you're seeing. I'm sure you've seen it before. If you haven't, basically it's just a newspaper in game, and it says Narwhal bacon ? And for those of you who don't know, this is basically a reference to Reddit, and I believe the saying was the narwhal bacons at midnight, or something along the lines of that. And as far as I know, it was a way for people on Reddit to distinguish themselves as being Redditors outside of the forum, i.e. in real life, etc. Or I believe also it became a joke on the forum at some point that personally I don't really get, but anyway, that's besides the point. As you all know, Rockstar does like to parody pretty much everything they can get their hands on, and on the Wikia page it just basically states that this is a reference to the well-known forum Reddit, and I'd just like to add that obviously Rockstar here has chosen to put a couple of question marks, and for me this is sarcasm, and that's my personal opinion. You're free to disagree with that, you're entitled to your own.
But I do agree with you, Eric. I agree with every bit of it. Honestly, I feel as though not only is it sarcasm, but there's a reason, you guys, a reason why these two words are separate. And they wanted you to understand that not only are they correlated, okay, but they are separate words to understand. There are dualities within this game that pertain to things of bacon and things of the Norwall. In this Whispy Quickie, we will understand them. Alright, so here we are at the pit. And/or within duality could be the bottomless pit. Now, I want you guys to understand something. It's very odd that they give us these very random masks, but also they called this mask the red monster mask. They give us a red one and a green one, okay? Within physical duality, the red, alright, is something that is of man, alright? It's still within the physical duality of red and blue, America, the evil aspect of the eagle and all of the above, okay? The green, once again, within inversion, alright? If you look at it through the eyes of good, okay, to see the bad, you see that green turns into purple. And purple and green within a physical duality, alright, simulate evil. Now, with that said, it's pretty odd that they don't call this a devil mask, but they call it a monster mask. Understand, they could have easily called it a devil mask, but that would be too obvious. Now, aside from that, I want you to understand his tattoos once again. I'm going to make it very clear. There's another hi-hat reference tattoo that he can get. There's actually two of them that he can get. And as you can see, it's another skull, okay, with a top hat. Now, the point, alright, is the height of the hat, not the actual type. Just like I've shown you before, okay, a high hat doesn't necessarily mean just a top hat. A top hat is considered within the high hats, okay, but it is the terminology here, alright, and the stature, even Abraham Lincoln. See, this has a huge history behind it, and especially dealing with aspects of, once again, Freemasonry. Okay, even this poster of Uncle Sam that is extremely famous, that was made in 1917, depicted this man with a high hat and all of the colors of America. Man, evil, the evil aspect of recruiting, forming a one world government. I want you to understand that before you get picky. Now, realize, once again, the pig, okay, piggy, is not only a tattoo that only Trevor can get, but it's something that represents within a duality of fucking pigs, okay? Because understand, the duality of looking at it in what the game implies it to be is something very easy, okay? Fuck cops. Fuck them, okay? But when you think about bestiality, okay, it's one of the many lineage of Satanism, all right? They believe in fucking animals, and it's in within one of the many outlooks of Satanism, okay? And showing things like that, all right, ties very closely into things that we have been looking up. Not only that, but he can also get monster pups. Now, again, it could just be a bullshit reference to titties, right? But they have flames coming out of them. Monster, okay? It was said that the Baphomet, okay, the Antichrist and all the representations of the devil, he was to be depicted with breasts, okay? He was to be depicted as a man and a woman, all right? He was in between of all species, all right? The head of a goat and all the above. He was a monster, okay? Now, aside from that, I find it very odd, too, that this is one of the many games that actually added masks, okay? And when they added masks, they actually thought about specific masks. You gotta understand that. Just like this pig mask, okay? Once again, all of this is tied, you guys, okay? It's all tied. Once again, the red dragon, alright? All of this shit is there, literally. Want to see more hi-hats? Because they're everywhere, you guys. Okay? Seriously. You just have to look for them. Once again, laugh now, cry later, alright? Another hi-hat skull. Seriously, guys, it is everywhere, alright? The evil aspect of the eagle, okay? USA, America, alright? The fucked up shit that has to do with the negative side of what we know to be the Illuminati, alright? And Satanism. Purple, okay? Most of these aspects are aspects of evil within the tattoo shop. And if not that, they are teaching us warnings if we follow the good aspect of the game. Okay? They're all there. Seriously. A green alien. Reverse it. Purple. Now, understand, this whole pig thing is very, very relevant, but not just with aspects of a mask or a tattoo, but they put different pig representations everywhere. And if pigs are to be represented as cops, okay, and cops within the game can also be within a duality of a star, and we know Trevor's map to be related to something that has to do with stars, then we all know that pigs have something to do with something deeper in the game. Even when it comes to aspects of, once again, the logos and the monuments of the game, okay, we can still tell things like a boar and or a pig, okay? This is Cafe Redemption. Now I ask you this, what the fuck, okay, what the fuck does a cafe or redemption, alright, have to do with a pig? I'll tell you what. It's most likely because they're telling you what redemption within this world represents. And that is the pig. Redemption. The action of saving or being saved from sin. Understand, Trevor says fuck pigs. fuck the action of being saved from sin. Fuck redemption.
Hi-hats are gonna settle a score with the orphans. Ready? 3, 2, 1, rumble.
Okay, right here, you guys, I want you to understand the hi-hats, okay? Once again, is a very relevant thing within Rockstar's history, alright? They produced this fucking game. And once again, when we are looking at things within an inversion, alright, we have to understand things can be mirrored, but also opposite of the same thing and the same clues that they are telling and pointing towards, okay? Something as simple as sleeves, okay? Notice how he has long sleeves, okay, with stripes, and then a regular shirt, alright? Understand that. The inversion here with GTA 5 is no long sleeves at all, and the shirt is striped. Inversion is everywhere, you guys, literally. And each one of these mime clues were just clues towards the hi-hat and the skull. Also, something I want to make clear is that it's very interesting how the orphans are in green. And who do we know as an orphan in the game? Franklin. Very interesting. Aside from that, like I said, these mimes and the inversion always existed. These mimes, okay, have made a point to be in GTA for a reason, okay? It's not like they're heavily invested in the GTA fucking world or mythos. I mean, this is like the first game we've ever really seen with mimes, and for some reason, a big reference towards mimes wearing these hi-hats and or mimes with striped sleeves. Okay, understand once again, this is all, okay, options for you to take within thinking, is this a clue or is this just a reference? Okay, this is a clue for you to understand what is relevant within GTA's history and a mime. And shout out to my boy Beyond Vapor for bringing this up, because it goes to show you I'm not the only one who sees shit about mimes around here. Even within the Vanilla Unicorn, you guys, there are lockers with a bunch of stickers on them, and they nonchalantly put this sticker right here. Now, some people can confuse this for Uncle Sam, but that's not what I think it is, because Uncle Sam has white hair. He has brown hair, and he has a pipe. I believe this is Abraham Lincoln. And not only is Lincoln tied to Freemasonry and a lot of the symbols within, but the hi-hat was one of his most noted symbols. Okay, so now that we understand once again that bacon, alright, has dualities within the game, they've made a note, alright, in this game to make pigs relevant. Why? Okay, that's the question here. I've brought connections to your light, okay, but it is your choice to make the right, alright, the right decisions within your thought process to understand certain things, alright. I can go in for days about why bacon is relevant within this game, okay, but it is up to true hunters to do the research and understand why it is significant within the mystery and why they've made a note to have it in several different forms. Now, aside from bacon, we have Norwall. First, I want to make something very clear. No different than how lie, alright, can mean deception on one side of duality and other things. On another side of duality, it also can mean to lie down, alright? understand what I mean. No different than how Cain, casting off the Cain, can be a representation of a physical Cain, something that's in GTA's past, okay? Or another duality, okay? A clue towards what it sounds like, Cain, and the lineage of Cain, and how he slayed his brother, the club, the bat, the Ultras Club. Okay. Now, Norwall is spelled very interesting. Now, if it's one thing we've made note in this mystery is that certain misspelled words are things that they want you to actually pay attention to, okay? That's what we're going to do here now, because it's obvious that this does say Norwall, okay? But what do we know to be a Norwall? Okay, so now we're looking at the Wikipedia for unicorns once again, and like I said, the vanilla unicorn, alright, is a duality, alright, of a bad horse, alright? No different than in every aspect of life there can be a bad side and a good side, okay? Understand, the Antichrist is to rule, but until the second coming of Christ, right? So, seeing a lot of aspects of him looking like a god, alright, and or Trevor looking like the good one, can be very fooling within this, alright? But you cannot look at the lie. You need to invert it and look at it through Michael's eyes in order to understand what it is. There are a lot of aspects, once again, within this mystery that are bigger than just GTA that have to do with a unicorn. Like the Czech Republic and all of these aspects of crests. Okay? One very, very interesting one is Hungary, and how they have the sword, the star, the sun, the bird, even a book. And they have the unicorn split on two sides. They have the bridge and or castle, alright, in between them. The castle, no different than the things I've shown you before. But that's not why I brought you here. I brought you here to show you that the unicorn can also mean a rhino. But that's not the only duality. Because a Norwall, right, is something very, very tied with the aspect of a unicorn. And especially the confusion within its history upon what a unicorn actually was. When theorized, there were a lot of creatures to be a symbol for a unicorn. But when it came down to the actual symbol, they chose a horse. Although all of these animals that have one horn are considered unicorns. Okay, so now we're looking at the Berry mission, okay, with Trevor. Now, I want you guys to understand something about this mission and why it's even relevant within this video that I'm showing you. Okay, they wanted you to understand something about this game and legalizing a lot of the drugs and weed, okay? It's been no doubt that weed has some part of the, let's say, paranormal things that has been implied in the game, whether seeing aliens or seeing clowns or seeing things that have to do with paranormal activities, okay? Aside from that, I want you to understand Trevor's scene and why it's different than the other scenes when it comes to smoking weed, and why they have different trips, and why Trevor says the things he says. I want you to understand something before I do show you this, is that the Antichrist and or Satan, okay, the spirit, let's say Satan, when he fell, okay, it was from rebelling against God, the Father, his Father, okay? the rebellion against his father is a huge symbolism within this game. And you must know that to take it to the next step. Understanding this scene was one of our biggest clues.
You! How can possession of a vegetable be illegal? Can I get a signature, sir?
For what?
The most important fight of all.
Poverty.
No, another most important fight.
The AIDS.
No, another one.
Animal welfare.
Legalization. Here, sign. Shit, where's my pen? Where's my pen?
Legalization of what?
Of things the founding fathers took as a right to consume medicinal plants.
Legalized smoke?
Yeah.
You fucking kidding me? I make a shitload of money selling that, all right? The last thing I can handle is legalization. Now, fuck!
Okay. Before I continue this scene, I want you to understand what he's talking about. Okay? Because whereas you discarded a lot of this because you thought it was just Trevor being Trevor, this is something deeper. Okay? He says, now fuck off. And it's because he does not want legalization. But why, right? This is deeper than just money. This is an aspect of rebellionism and an aspect of greed. Okay? Sins. And I'm going to show you proof of why legalization, okay, was one of the game's many clues of telling us that it is a bad thing within Trevor's aspect of the game. Because in order to rebel, it is very, very important to not legalize weed.
Take a drag.
No, I don't want to smoke it anymore. It interferes with the speed.
Oh, it's really good weed.
All right, give it here.
Yeah. It's a real mellow contemplative high that comes from you.
Those clowns over there.
I want you guys to understand something. Okay, I'm gonna let it go a little forward, but I want you to really pay attention.
Is this what?
Look at all this purple smoke. And there's a reason why I've let it go on for a little while so you can understand all the smoke is purple when you shoot them. Once again, what do we know about purple? Nature, man, evil, Trevor. Once again, one green. Man is a nocturnal animal by nature. And it's very interesting that he says animal welfare, okay, as a suggestion for what they should be legalizing. Because he cares about animals, animal nature, okay? Now, the reason why I'm showing you this is because of something that I stumbled across. And it has to do with something very, very interesting. This was me playing my game a little while ago. A little over an hour ago. And something very interesting happened while I was wearing the devil mask and listening. Okay? Listening. And I want you to understand what this guy says and understand why it's relevant.
I mean, I agree with you, but if they legalize drugs, how else will I rebel against the government and my day? Shit, I must be high. Just saw the weirdest dude. Stay fresh, amigo!
Okay. For those of you who did not hear that, let's do it again.
Legalize drugs, how else will I rebel against the government and my day?
You understand?
I mean, I agree with you, but if they legalize drugs, how else will I rebel against the government and my dad? Shit.
If they legalize drugs, how am I supposed to rebel against the government and my dad? Symbolism. If weed is legalized and or helped legalized within this game, it may have a big effect on the aspect of taking over the government and or rebelling against the father, Michael. So understand, you guys, I want no confusion when it comes to this hypothesis. I want you to understand, okay, what we could be possibly dealing with. It's very ironic, okay, that they have one character that we can do these weed missions with and own legal drug clubs, okay? Figure that, alright? But this person, Franklin, is the person that teeters and totters in between good and evil, okay? Meaning that if you are on a playthrough of Trevor's and trying to seek this jetpack and or evil side of the Easter egg, it just might have something to do with you not doing this, because this would be helping the legalization, okay? And I feel as though this is a strong connection to why you can even do it. And it makes perfect sense why afterwards we don't really see Trevor or Michael smoke weed anymore. It makes perfect sense. All three of them get one spot in the game to have a weed experience. And then we all get their outlooks on them. Trevor's is the only one that's completely against it. Completely. Absolutely against it. So much to the point where he says it affects with his speed. Okay? Speed. Maybe a clue for Claude. Or maybe just meth. Figure this though. If it is just a Breaking Bad reference that we're having throughout all of these things, then Breaking Bad could be literally what they're telling us to do when it comes to Michael. But don't dwell on that too much, because I still do have some very, very substantial evidence of Claude. But before that, I want you guys to once again open your mind. Okay, so before I go, you guys, I want to recap, okay? I want you guys to not be so confused, all right? Understand. What I mean by this is aspects of America, all right? The physical fucking eagle bullshit that we know of it, all right, is a lie, all right? The physicalities, man, sin, all that shit is a lie. And it's all part of the devil. All of it, all right? When you invert things, that is the eye of Michael. You are seeing things in his perspective, okay? No different than when you see inversion upon his red truck, you see a lie. He is not of the true blue. He is not of the apple. He is not of the aspects of the game, all right, that they are talking about is the lake and the eagle, all right? There are dualities here, whereas the lake is a lake of truth on one side of the good duality. The lake is also a lake of fire on his side of the duality, okay? The bottomless pit, all these aspects that they have forced into the fucking game, horns on his truck, bears, all this shit, you guys, is all tied together, and it's all getting us closer to understanding why they put it in the game. Now, if we can understand why they put it in the game, we can understand the order, alright? That they were to make things flow. And if we can understand the order, then it's just as simple as following directions. Understand, when you see red or blue, that does not mean automatically epsilon. It's all about how you view it from a good and evil spectrum. When you see things in a bad light, and you know they're bad because they are based on lies, okay, like him being good, which is a lie, a clear one. You are to invert it. The truth is very evil for him. His truth, Michael's truth, is something very enlightening and very spiritual. We will develop more things as we go. But once again, all I ask from you guys is faith. Okay, so honestly, for those of you who do not understand at this point and just want to bash what I'm saying because they don't see some fucking jetpack, okay, get over that shit and understand that these clues have been in front of our faces from the very beginning, and we just did not pay attention to the clues. There are clues that need to be taken into consideration here, and we did not do that. Alright? This is the last scene of Trevor's story mode, and it gives us the same clues that I've shown several times.
Pete, I carried you in here. I think.
This is Trevor's mom, and you only see her at the end of the game. Okay? Now, not only does she have the red hair of the unsavable, alright, but notice the leopard print, okay? Understand it. And then they have her pants, very, very subtly purple. And then you invert them, and what do you get? Green. Nature. Once again, the shit was right in front of our face, and we did not care.